Around, round, round, round. Yeah. What is Gooey's Brothers, and welcome to the first installment of You, Me, in VSOP. Um, got this idea watching a few different podcasts that I enjoy partaking in. One of which being the Knucklehead podcast with Darius Miles and Quentin Richardson. And this is going to be an addendum. The first episode is going to go on YouTube and the Patreon, but past that it'll probably just be Patreon only, completely uncensored. Long takes, not a lot of chop ups, but and as you can see, my camera, I faded. The opacity shouldn't be like that, but I kind of like it like that, so we're gonna keep it like that for now. Got the little background music, and this is my chance to review. So this is gonna be a bit of a longer episode. So yeah, the first this I wanted this first little episode to be a bit of a music review, what I'm listening to during these quarantine times and vibes, quote unquote. Have a little something in the background, and then also go talk a little bit about what shows I'm watching, why, what I'm enjoying about them, that sort of thing. Cool. That's cool with you. It's cool with me. So we gonna sit back, relax, and have a little something. As Uncle Shay would say, we gonna do something before two something. It's 2:15 when I'm recording this, so yeah. But this will be dropping on Sunday. So first up, we gonna get into this music, man. I have yet to react to Drake's new song, but speaking of Drake, first on the list that I'm listening to right now, playing a lot of, is a young lady by the name of Snow Allegra. Snow Allegra is quite literally just vibes. She looks, honestly, on that one, the album, Those Feels Again, first off, it's a fire album name. But she looks smack like Sade. I was highly surprised. But she looks just like Sade, and her voice is soothing. She has a lane, she stays in it. It's very comforting. My favorite, of course, like most people, is I Want You Around. Her album covers, her album artwork on Don't Explain and Feels is really dope as well. I know that's a certain type of style of art. I'm not 100% on that. I could probably talk to Kev about that. What he thinks about them, how they're done. But for Feels and Don't Explain, Feels, I had no idea that's the sample that Drake used for what's the name of it? And if you had my relevant. No, that's not it. Give me a second. I'm gonna find out for y'all. Hold on. Ain't no reason to be wrong about it. Do Not Disturb. That's the sample he used for Do Not Disturb. Time and I never knew that was Snow Allegra. So when I found it, I was literally at work. Be like, that's the sample. I found it. So that was kind of cool to see, and I can't even say I have a whole bunch to say like in depth to say about her, but she has a lane. It's very clean. It's very R&B soul. I like it. It's soothing. The next artist that I'm listening to right now that's just kind of on the chill vibes, of course, Jhené Aiko. Jhené Aiko, I haven't listened to all of the new album yet, but I do know that Jhené Aiko has been making the same music forever. She's making the same music since this for the same vibes forever, and lyrically, she's always a bit more. She has the ability to be deeper than most think. I remember my first time realizing that was 316. Got Erica Mama Badu playing. I'm trying to get demonetized. But Janae Aiko, I remember the first time I actually listened to her since her album Trippy or something to that effect was Triggered. Go Trigger, you were the figure. You brought me to an upsetting view. Go figure. There we go. You were the trigger. That one. And it was just like it put me back in that mind of just like Janae Aiko's vibes anyway. She always has been, always will be. But Janae Aiko is always giving energy, positive energy, that sort of thing. I was hurt when her and Big Sean got together. I ain't even gonna hold you, cause I halfway claimed Janae Aiko, but I deleted that page, so nobody knows. But Sold Out is still my favorite one to listen to her, like from album beginning to end. Limbo, she was born in limbo just to yeah. Limbo was really good. I know that Spotless Mind was really popular for people. She was. I didn't realize she. I guess I forgot she was on. It's a Vibe with 2 Chains and Ty Dolla $ign. But I'm listening to a lot of Janae Aiko right now just because it's very soothing music. Get to lay back, relax, especially if you want to sip, have a little something to sip on. I did not like. We only focusing on positive stuff right now. On a more turn up side, we're listening to Don Toliver a lot. His Heaven or Hill album he just came out with. I know he came out with Donnie Womack last year, and I completely missed that. First time I heard him was because of Travis's album on Can't Say, and I remember his voice as being unique. And if I'm being 100, I've enjoyed more of his music featureless. The boy is just better featureless to me. There's nothing to say have against Quavo and Offset, Travis. Those are the features he had on the album, but the one with Travis was okay. Euphoria was pretty good, but it was very much Travis was really Antidote 2015 loud type mix, so it wasn't like really chilled. But Euphoria was good. Cardigan was really good. After Party and Wasted are my favorites, but No Idea is number 3 on this album for sure. After Party. Okay, I put up. I thought in the after party. You and all your friends say you love to get naughty. Sipping on it, and I know you love the Bacardi. 1942, I think you back in a Rari. And then Wasted. I'm up, wasted. I'm up, wasted. Like, it's just smooth, man. This guy, he has a lane. He stays in it. And much like my friend Joe last week on the podcast said, if he gave him 5 songs that were just like Can't Say, the album would have been a 10 out of 10. But I can solidly give that one an 8, because I respect it for what it is, and Don Toliver has a really great ability to me of flowing from his verses into his choruses, and it's seamless. I like to make music. I'm an artist, but I don't have that ability as a quote unquote rapper. I'm also not a rapper, but That is something that I have the utmost respect for. Candy was pretty good. Company. There will never be another song named Company that's not with Travis and Drake that I will actually really like. But and of course, her. What more is there to say? Her is her. Have every. I think it's having everything revealed. Her is her. I mean, Volume 1, Volume 2, I Used to Know You, Volume 1, Volume 2, or Part 1, Part 2. I don't know what song that, I know she came out with Comfortable, which is a single, and something else. Um, I damn near, oh, sometimes. I've literally damn near bought everything that she's come out with. Focus is, of course, a classic. I was one of the few people I really didn't like Best Part. It had nothing to do with her or Daniel Caesar. It's just not. I don't like really listening to it. It's not bad though. Um, I won't. I won't. The second half of that song, where they start with the background and the vocals mixed with the bass, mm, and then that bass. It's like a rolling bass, and if you got a sub or if you listen to it in the right headphones, you know what it sounds like. That's my favorite her song of all time. Going the full version. I'm one of those people. The first time I heard Going, the interlude was like, I need more. I need more. She gave us the full version, and more was given, and more was everything. Rax is pretty good. Her doesn't really have any misses for me, man. Let Me In is right up there in my top 5 for her. Hopes Up. Free is beautiful. You don't ever stay forever laying next to me. So Could Have Been, I take that back. I didn't like Could Have Been the remix with Tony Stith, or Tone Stith. Tone Stith, maybe. It was just nothing to me, but I fell in love with the version with Bryson, but I didn't really, that was another one, like, Bryson has done some features that I didn't think were necessarily necessary, but it was solid. Miss Charlotte Day Wilson. I sat back. I listened to CDW from 2016. I sat back and listened to Stone Woman, the EP from 2018. I understand Work was one of the first singles. I hated it. However, I'm not here to talk about Work. I am here to tell you that Mountains is one of the best songs that you have never heard. Mountains. I'm 99% sure she didn't do a video for that. But Miss Charlotte Day Wilson. Up on a mountain. I mean, the harmony, it comes in, and then this little tinkling bell is there, just easing you into it. And she just, see this place before. And she got this little warmth in the, she has a, imagine the best way to say what Charlotte Day Wilson reminds me of. And if you don't know who this is, get off the podcast, go find her. But Joss Stone, blue eyed soul. There's no other way to put it. I will say that there wasn't anything special about the EPs to me, but Mountains alone, I am a fan. Mountains alone, I'm a fan. That's a great one to listen to. I will have to say, I listened to The Weeknd's album as well. The Weeknd, this is gonna be a bit of a deep dive. Let me make sure I give you everything, okay? I am an unequivocal huge Weeknd fan. One of the first times I spent money to go to a concert, I got tickets up in the rafters. It was all I could afford for me and one of my friends. And When I quote unquote discovered the weekend, I was in high school, and I wasn't even a huge fan of Kissland. But what got me hooked was that trilogy, and I'm talking about before it was labeled as a trilogy. Before it was labeled a trilogy, Echoes of Silence, House of Balloons, and Thursday. Thursday to me, is still the weekend's best piece of work. I care not what you say. I care if not. If we weekend fans, we can all agree the weekend has some great stuff. I didn't like the zone, however, everything else on there, Lonely Star, Life of the Party, Birds and 2, Part 1 and 2, Gone is his greatest song. My favorite song of the weekend. Okay? My favorite song. Heaven or Las Vegas, that kind of played into like that Heaven or Hell, what you call that. His album actually helped me kind of understand that Heaven or Hell theme from Don Tolliver. Valerie was solid. Like this trilogy, Alright Many Misses. Dirty Diana, that was clearly Michael Jackson's song, but he put his own spin on it, and he's clearly very Michael Jackson inspired. Outside, EXO the Host was a great one. Initiation, same old song with Juicy J. Who expected? I've never. Only time I've literally heard more Juicy J out of features than his own actual music. But that was a great track. Echoes of Silence next. You just want me cause I'm next. You just want me cause I'm next. That was really good. And then House of Balloons. House of Balloons, for me, jeez. Thursday was first. House of Balloons is 2. House of Balloons is 2. High for this, he's what you want, what you need. House of Balloons / Glass Table Girls, The Morning, Wiki Games, The Party, and the After Party coming down. I always want you when I'm coming down. I always want you when I'm Loft Music, The Knowing, 28. Oh my god, 28. I could sit here and listen to these 3 mixtapes of the weekend and be satisfied forever. And I can tell you exactly why. This is all for a point. When I was a fan of the week, when I discovered the weekend, it wasn't a dark time for me necessarily, but there was a part of me that related for it, that wanted that. You know, that wanted the experience or wanted to know what it was like to have a drug infused, you know, rampage. I won't say rampage, but it's like it wasn't even a blatant disrespect for women. It was just like, hey, look, you know what you're here for. I know what I'm here for. Let's take these drugs and do what we do. And when I was younger, that was something that I looked for, but I kind of got used to the weekend in that darker, and like I started expecting and looking forward to and enjoying that darker, heavy, lustful, um, lustful type music, right? Kissland was good, but that initial trilogy is what got me hooked. Beauty Behind the Madness was a slightly popified version of the trilogy to me. And my favorite one off of that, I mean, As You Are was okay. Angel was okay. Losers was one of my favorite ones. Real Life, it was like, eh. Tell Your Friends was pretty good. That was very much reminiscent of the trilogy. You know, he was always telling you to get in the trilogy. He was always like getting, you gotta please me and my friends. You gotta please me and my friends. But beyond that, often had been out forever too. Let's be 100. Often had been out forever, but most people didn't know that. The Hills. The Hills was my favorite song off that album. There are a multitude of kids that in the camp that I was working at, I was literally playing basketball, singing The Hills. I always want you when it's half past 5. The only time you ever called you mine. I messed that up, but you get the point. That jump That touch me and I feel me when I'm fucked up. That's the real me. Like, I love that song. The hills and then the video was weird and eerie, just like that. Um, Starboy. Starboy. This is going back to what I was looking for from the weekend, but it wasn't anything special to me. Like, I can honestly say that was the first time I regretted purchasing an album, and then the second time I did that was Justin Timberlake's Man of the Woods, but we'll get to that another day. Um, False Alarm was just my favorite ones off of this was Sidewalks, more so because of Kendrick, and then his part wasn't bad, but the feature was really hot. Um, All I Know of Future, I love that one. That was my favorite one, but that was also more towards the darker synthy side of what I was used, lustful, hedonistic type thing that I was you looking for from him. But then I Feel It Coming and Starboy were two of the biggest songs on that one. I think that Love to Lay was pretty good. She loved to lay, boom, boom. Yeah, yeah. Love to Lay was good. And then he had a video for that one. Rockin' was good as well, but that's not. Um, you just wanna spend your life with me. Yeah, Rockin' was pretty good, but as a whole, it wasn't I gotta hear Starboy every day. Like, one of those songs come on from the trilogy. I made CDs with the trilogy on them. Like mixtape type jumps with the trilogy on them, bro. So, there's that. So Starboy to me was a bit of an L. Didn't enjoy it. A few songs, if it come on, very skippable for me. My Dear Melancholy came back, and when he came back with Call Out My Name, boy, I was like, hey, look, put up the Voss, the VSOP. The boy that gave us a banger. And then the video was I don't know how they even think of some of that stuff, but then they had the imagery of the birds from free. Oh man, it couldn't get no better. Couldn't get no better. And then After Hours came. And I can be convinced otherwise, and I have to listen to it more. But I mean to tell you, this might be Jesus. He already has the remixes with this. After Hours remixes, my lord. Scared to Live, SNL Live, Heartless, Vaporwave remix, OPN, Lil Uzi Vert on Heartless remix. Okay, so I knew this was very 80s themed, and I'm a 90s baby, but I've seen a lot of 80s stuff. I can say I'm semi nostalgic. Stranger Things was set there. I love Stranger Things. Love me some Stranger Things and various other music and the like that we can get into another day. Um, I've listened to the album 1.5 times. First impression reactions, man. It seemed like he just made music to make music. I mean, it was theme wise, it was on, and it wasn't bad, and it's still good because it's the weekend. Like, I'm a fan, but it's not that trilogy. I mean, like, and it's like literally that trilogy was so perfect in what I expect from him that it's almost feel bad saying that the album wasn't that good to me. Like, it wasn't like an outstanding piece of work. And I say that to say, like, in comparison, I'm a huge Tyler Creator fan, and I mean, like, back to Tyler was getting banned from countries type Tyler. My favorite song from him early was Transylvania. But I've seen Tyler, but then, you watch interviews and Tyler's like, my favorite artist is like Stevie Wonder. and I know I'll never make a song as good as that. But then you see him progressing to the point where now the boy then is nominated for Grammys and considered, hip hop, quote unquote. I thought it was more R&B. This last album, Igor, but the boy is out here killing it and making excellent sounding music, and I can accept that because it feels like, oh man, but I can accept that because it feels like a natural progression in his style of music, right? Like he started here where he literally was saying in a Sway in the Morning interview that he didn't care about what he made. He was trying to make the absolute worst shit that he could. Where it feels like The Weeknd has regressed. I think is the word. I don't say regressed, but kind of became stagnant to me. Like the Nicki Minaj and I can't say and DJ Khaled syndrome. They got really big and then they got stagnant. They got comfortable. They stopped pushing themselves. Because The Weeknd got one. They got an old one off a mixtape, like a fan made mixtape. Let me see. Hold on. Fan made mixtapes. I mean, like I went back and I found mixtapes right before the balloons was hot. My God, I need to go back and find some of these because I used to have all of them. In fact, for the Weeknd's tour that he did, that was the first time I saw Travis Scott, and at that time, Apple Pie and 90210 were my favorites, and and I've become a huge Travis fan since. But where is this? Mixtapes 3. What do they consider mixtapes on Wikipedia? Hang on, guys. Why can't I find that song? But I went back and found The Weeknd's first performance at Coachella. And I mean to tell you, you know that he's worked on his voice to be more consistent. Man, it's apparent. Boy can I watched him live jump around, run around the whole 9 yards, and the boy is bad. The boy is bad, and that was the tour for Beauty Behind the Madness. Here it is, and time stood still. And time stood still. This and time stood still mixtape, man. Where is this one? King of the Fall remix. He got one with In Vain, I think. Man, whichever one it was, but first off, the album artwork on that jump was just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But that album was so good. I feel like The Weeknd has gotten a little stagnant. But there's still plenty of people on their, reviews giving him 7s and 8s for this, and it's not bad. It's not a bad